How was the first day?
Yeah, I mean, first day, obviously fun to be out there, watch the guys run around, and shape your team takes a different form each and every week leading up to preseason practice. And then obviously it's here. And day one, you have your things that look really good, you have your things that look really poor, and then some things that are middle of the road like they should. So, but split camp, split practice, mini camp format type deal for these next couple of days, and a lot of guys getting a lot of reps, and just trying to get as many eyes on guys and see what they've done throughout the summer and see if their work has been able to put down and good reps in football and positive.
How far into fall camp do mistakes become minimal, or ideally when do you want them to be minimal?
I think it's a growth process. I think there's mistakes each and every day. You can't really prepare 4 units to go play in a football game, but there's 4 different 11-man units out there practicing and different guys rotating in and out of those units. So there is going to be a lot of errors. There are going to be probably some plays that look really bad when you turn on the tape. So, but you try to paste the highlighted plays together and try to create a picture of what each player can then do and maybe create a standard of expectation for them. And then it's our job to try to coach them through that and make sure that they meet that each and every time they go out there. So, a couple weeks here going through the ebbs and flows, and then you try to start to prepare your team for week one and put your energy and time focus to win your week 1 game. And then after that, it's just that process is on repeat the entire year.
Toledo, I think, winning a MAC title is kind of always the expectation or whatever. You've had 3 teams make the title game. What's like the common theme or the most common themes?
Yeah, I think those teams all had the ability to take it day by day and really understand that, their work in today's, what they're doing in each and every period of practice, and today's practice is going to matter in December. I think that's a big challenge for this team to stay in the now and understand that, yesterday's home runs don't win today's game. So whatever we've done in the past, nobody really cares. This is a different team. We've got to focus on the details and the little things that can make our team great each and every day and stack those together. We got a lot of players that are veteran guys that, have high expectations for their own careers, and I think that's a main challenge for them as well. Like, can you learn from your past successes and failures? Can you still prepare for your future? But ultimately, we want to make sure we produce in the now.
Despite differences in personnel from year to year, what is 1 or 2 position groups that you'd like to see as the most improved throughout fall camp?
I think everybody's got to improve. That's the beauty of going to preseason camp, and we train really hard here in the summer, and our strength staff does a great job, and Coach Mercedes delivers us a really fit, in shape, fast football team each and every camp that we come back to. And you still see some guys with hands on their hips today. You can't simulate practice. You can't simulate preseason practice. And putting a helmet on and going out there and playing live football and going the hardest you can possibly go for a rack of plays, that's a little different than anything you do in the summer, no matter how you try to simulate that. So we got to handle that part of it. We got to know that tomorrow's got to be a little bit better than today, and I think that's true for every position.
I meant to ask this at MAC Media Day, but you did have one major change in your coaching staff over the off season this year. First off, what did Coach Parker mean to the secondary and the impact that he had on the program, especially?
Yeah, Corey did a great job, and I think that his influence was way past Quinyon Mitchell. It's to the younger players that are here in our program and what the lessons that he was able to teach those guys and how that'll carry on to this year. So, I think sometimes that in the particular moment, like if a player does really, really good, the coach automatically gets credit for it. But, I think that, Quinyon had 3 different position coaches his time here. So he's self-made in a lot of ways. And, he had the beauty of taking some tips from each one of those guys and putting it into his bag of tricks and making that, what he was going to become as a player. And I think that Corey leaving left a lasting impact on some of these guys in this program. And now you add Coach Eliano in the mix. These guys are challenged with the same thing that Quinyon went through. So, coaching is coaching. How much can you take from a player to perfect your craft, as a player to perfect your craft? I think that's a challenge for all of them. And then we added Derek Sage at tight end. I think that Mark Staten did a great job for us, and Derek will do a tremendous job with these guys trying to take that room to another level. So working through some of the details in the communication things with new coaches is always a challenge, but I think we're off to a good start.
And what are you excited about what Coach Eliano brings for the secondary?
Yeah, I think he's been around a lot of different places. He's coached the best of the best. He coached Sauce Gardner, and you've been at Ohio State. You've been a defensive coordinator before. I think that you've seen a lot of football, so he's a guy that I have familiarity with from him being in the league, and he brings some good energy to the practice field and really a hard edge to how those guys are going to be coached in a very disciplined, approach to things, and very detailed things. And, you know, we always look for more discipline and more detail at every position. So I think that's going to be really good.
You mentioned communication. Just curious what the helmet communication stuff has been like so far. How much you've been able to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quarterbacks would love the opportunity to say something back. You know, that's probably what they would say. But I mean, it's good. You know, and obviously you want to take advantage of whatever the rules changes are each and every year, and I think that is advantageous for us to be able to have, you know, that little birdie in his ear to make sure that he understands and they understand what we're trying to get accomplished. It's probably more beneficial now than maybe it is in the games, because you can almost talk through pre-snap orientation and that kind of stuff. And it's a fine line there because you don't want to slow down the operation of it. And today, if you pay attention to practice, there's a lot of fast-moving parts there. It wasn't much of that. It was more, you know, go make the mistakes, coach it off the videotape type of thing. So, but glad college football has it. You know, it's probably been a long time coming for that. You know, we're probably way overdue in getting that. So I think it'll be good.
The guys in this room right now, they're all kind of veteran leaders, been around the program for a while. How important are they in like helping bring their teammates along, and not just the coaches?
Yeah, well, there's like 40-some% of our production is that's what returns. There's 60 guys that have never been through a preseason camp before, and when I say try to practice 4 units and having 60, 50-plus guys, and the first time they've ever been through preseason practice, it's critically important. The assistant coaches got to be on the same page. The leaders at their position got to be on the same page. And I think the group in between these guys and, the 2B juniors and 2B sophomores, if they paid attention in the last couple of years, they'd have already seen these guys create a great standard for that. They'd have already seen some of those seniors that left us last year create a great standard for that. So, but it's never a finished product. I mean, you're always still working to try to make it better. So, a responsibility that I think that they welcome and they shoulder with great attention to detail, and we're going to need them to be that way all the way through the season.
More questions for Coach? What's your favorite summer Olympic sport?
Favorite sport, or if I could be an Olympian, what would I pick? 2 different answers. I just think that it's incredible that these people train for this amount of time, and you go run the 100 meters and it's 9 or 10 seconds. Like, I think that's crazy to me, because that's just the next level, attention to detail. The swimmers that train all that time, and it's 46 seconds or 48 seconds, whatever it is. And in some of the sprints, I think you'd want to be the fastest man in the world. And I think you'd probably want to win the boxing gold medal, right? You want to be the toughest guy in the world or the fastest. So that's probably what I pick.